Okay, so on today's installment of the Vex Clawbot, we're going to be doing 10, 11, and 12. Connecting the other motor side, and that pretty much completes the chassis, which is the bottom part. Then we'll be putting the bracket or the top part to start putting the claw itself or the holders for the claw. Like I said, we'll just do one page at a time. Here we go. Okay, so starting, where I left off last time. Okay, 7, 8, 9, that's on, right? So now we're going to put this one on N, okay, as per step 10. And let me have my instructions out just so, we're all on the same page. So looking at step 10. The wire has to go in the same direction as the other motor, right? So make sure you have that like that. If you're looking at you really can only fit it, really, because you have to put it in the second screw. So if you're looking, actually, let me put this down because I can't hold it two hands, right? So if this is where we're putting it in, this screw here is the first two, right? So you're going to skip these two and you're going to put it in this. So it's actually 1, 2. The middle ones, don't even count those. So it's 1, 2 of the, two square holes, basically, right? Okay, and like I said, make sure you have your check, and double check to make sure you are putting your motor in the correct direction. Both wires should be going down on either side. Okay, and then you just line it up with the two squares that are there. And as per the instructions, we're putting it in the second square. So you're just putting it right next to, in line with the other square. You're using the little black screw, so put that picture up there, a little black screw, and then these nuts on the back to hold it in place. Flip it upside down like this so I can put the nut on there. And you can twist it with your hand or your fingers pretty well. And then once it's tight enough, like that, I'll take my Allen wrench, which is the second one, and tighten it up nice and tight. There we go. And then, move the thing so it's straight. You want it parallel there. And then, then you're going to put the second screw in right next to, right where the other one is, skipping one space, like I said. You can't really mess that up once you do the first one. It's pretty much in line. And dropped it. So learn a lesson from your teacher. Like gravity. Flip it upside down so that way when you're putting the nut in, gravity is doing the work. Otherwise, you run the risk of dropping it like I just did when you're trying to work against gravity. Only because you kind of need one finger to hold the robot or the chassis and the other one to turn the thing. And then once you have it like this, you hold the nut on the back end and you go ahead and screw it. Now this one you want to do real tight because you can actually see the metal is going to get closer together. And then you want to make sure that this stays parallel while you tighten it because it's going to want to turn a little bit. And then you tighten the other one because once you tighten one, the other one gets a little loose. There it is. Boom and boom. So now we're going to put this bad boy on for step 11. So if you're looking at the front of your robot and the wires are coming towards you, okay, this thing's going to go like this. So if you see, it's 90 degree. you want the 90 degree away from you, okay? And it is going, you're putting one screw on, well, we'll just take it one screw at a time, so that way I don't confuse you, because I'm not going to really be able to explain it. So if you look on the back, because you got to kind of tell from the picture here, right? So if you look on the back, you'll see that there's these long strips, right? And then you'll count 3 holes, right? So if I'm here, 1, 2, 3, okay? And it's actually the 4th hole, so 4, right? So little 1, so long strip, 1, 2, 3, 4 is where you're going to put your first screw, okay? So flip it. Make sure you're putting the 90 degree angle so it's away from you, right? And then you're counting 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one is where you're putting the screw. And you're going to use the little screws again. And I'm just going to put one in to hold it. So 1, 2, 3, and it's right on the corner. So the corner of the 90 degree angle, you're putting one screw. Okay, just like that. So actually, you can't really see it from that angle. I'm going to turn it around. Hold it. Okay, so hopefully it won't fall out when I move it. There you go. See, 1, 2, 3, 4th one, and then there's the angle. So if I turn it so you can actually see that there's an angle, right? That's how it's going in. Okay, and this one, okay, we're going to be we're going to think about tricky, okay? You're only going to tighten them up with your fingers first. This way we can get them all lined up, okay? And then use your Allen wrench to tighten it tighter, right? So like right now it's just my finger. Like I move it, it's just my finger. I haven't used my Allen wrench to tighten it yet because I want to make sure that this is where it needs to be on the other side. So once again, you're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And now you're going to put the next one on that corner. Only because if you tighten it all up and then it's not lined up properly, you're going to have to untighten it to resituate it. So it's better to just do it this way. And I should be lined up once I do these two. The ones in the middle won't be offline because it is a straight line. But it does happen where the metal gets bent. This is not, super strong metal. It can be a little flimsy. Okay, but there it is. So as you can see on either side, 1, 2, 3, and on the corner is there. 1, 2, 3 on the corner is there. And now if I'm looking at the other one, it is straight. It's all lined up. Everything's lined up. I can see right through those holes. So I can very easily put my other screws in there. And you're going to put the 2. So for the motor side, you're going to put 2 screws. So let us do that. Once again, not putting screws in our mouth. That's a bad habit that I have. Don't want to teach that. Don't do what I do. I didn't do it. I took it out. I put it on the table. I'm learning not to teach bad habits. When I went to school, I got in that bad habit. I've never choked on it, swallowed things by accident, but I have heard stories. My engineering professor had warned me against that when he first saw me do it. He was like, "Why are you putting a screw in your mouth?" And I was like, "To hold on to it, because I'm going to need it in a second." And he was like, "Aren't you afraid you can accidentally swallow it?" And I go, my mouth isn't open. And he goes, he was actually the one that I learned, nobody plans on an accident. So he's actually right? So I learned it from him. And I'm working on trying not to teach those same bad habits. So that's why we're even talking about it now. Nostalgia, man. The teachers who affect your life. You never know, right? Okay. So that's on there. I'm going to need another one, so let me get it. Corresponding nuts. All right. 2 screws, 2 nuts. Very good. All right. So we'll line this one up. So if I flip it around, well, that's the back side, so you can see the 2 nuts there, right? And now I'm going to do this side on this side over here. Technically, it should be easier for you because you have smaller fingers than I do. So I gotta like go down on this like this to like make sure it gets on the thing. And I'm kind of like having to spin it with just my thumb because I can't really fit both my fingers in there. But like I said, you won't have such problems because you have smaller fingers than I do. These Vex robots are made for children. But like if you're also doing like car mechanic stuff, like some parts in a car, it's like, how did they expect us to get to this? Like, what tool am I supposed to be using to get to this far deep part of the engine? I think you're supposed to take the whole engine apart sometimes, right? But anyway, there it is, right? So 1, 2, 3. And on the other side, 1, 2, 3. Right, so 2 in the middle, 1 on the ends. Okay, and now they're all in. And let me tell you something: your robot's going to vibrate, and you don't want it to shake those loose. So, and then I'll do 12. Like if you look at 12, we can actually add that because I just heard the bell. So time's up for now. 12 is going to put the first leg on, so I'll leave that for next time. We'll just add that onto the next page. So that is all for now.